What do you do when you're a Mesopotamian god and you see a goddess you really like? Well, you have sex with her. Of course, then you can also have sex with her daughter, who's your daughter, and then her daughter's daughter, who's your daughter and your granddaughter, and it gets a little weird. In this video, I read the literary composition Enki and Ninhursag. Keep your eye open for a healthy dose of incest, and watch what happens when Enki is basically unable to control himself. Like, subscribe, come along for the ride. Hello everybody, welcome back to our series on sex and eroticism in Mesopotamian literature. This is episode 7, part 1 of 2. This is Enki's Lust, and we're going to have a reading of the myth Enki and Ninhursag. I decided to read this myth for you because the chapter is basically an assessment of the literary composition, and it makes a lot more sense if you actually read through it and know what is going on when Dr. Like is talking about her interpretation of the plot. She does provide a summary in the chapter, but I think it's just a lot easier to have the myth itself fresh in your mind. Today we'll just have a reading of the myth so that everyone knows what's going on, and then tomorrow I will take you through Gwendolyn Like's chapter on this myth, her interpretation, and also some of the earlier interpretations by other scholars that she cites in her book. So let's get going. Pure are the cities, and you are the ones to whom they are allotted. Pure is Dilmun land. Pure is Sumer, and you are the ones to whom it is allotted. Pure is Dilmun land. Pure is Dilmun land. Virginal is Dilmun land. Virginal is Dilmun land. Pristine is Dilmun land. He laid her down all alone in Dilmun, and the place where Enki had lain down with his spouse, that place was still virginal, that place was still pristine. He laid her down all alone in Dilmun, and the place where Enki had lain down with Ninhursag, that place was virginal, that place was pristine. In Dilmun the raven was not yet cawing, the partridge not cackling, the lion did not slay, the wolf was not carrying off lambs, the dog had not been taught to make kids curl up, the pig had not learned that grain was to be eaten. When a widow has spread malt on the roof, the birds did not yet eat that malt up there. The pigeon then did not tuck the head under its wing. No eye diseases said there, I am the eye disease. No headache said there, I am the headache. No old woman belonging to it said there, I am an old woman. No old man belonging to it said there, I am an old man. No maiden in her unwashed state in the city. No man dredging a river said there, it is getting dark. No herald made the rounds in his border district. No singer sang an elulim there. No wailings were wailed in the city's outskirts there. Ninhursag said to her father Enki, You have given a city, you have given a city. What does your giving avail me? You have given a city, Dilmun. You have given a city. What does your giving avail me? You have given a city. What avails me your giving? You have given a city that has no river quay. You have given a city. What does your giving avail me? A city that has no fields, glebe or furrow. When Uttu steps into heaven, fresh water shall run out of the ground for you from the standing vessels on Ezen's shore, from Nana's radiant high temple, from the mouth of the waters running underground. May the waters rise up from it into your great basins. May your city drink water aplenty from them. May Dilmun drink water aplenty from them. May your pools of salt water become pools of fresh water. May your city become an emporium on the quay for the land. May Dilmun become an emporium on the quay for the land. May the land of Turkrish hand over to you gold from Harali, lapis lazuli, and may the land of Meluha load precious desirable carnelian, meshwood of Magan, and the best arbor wood into the large ships for you. May the land of Marahashi yield you precious stones, topazes. May the land of Magan offer you strong, powerful copper, dolerite, stone, and Shumen stone. May the sea land offer you its own ebony wood of a king. May the tent lands offer you fine multicoloured wool. May the land of Elam hand over to you choice wools, its tribute. May the manor of Urim, the royal throne dais, the city, load up into large ships for you sesame, august raiment, and fine cloth. May the wide sea yield you its wealth. The city's dwellings are good dwellings. Dilmun's dwellings are good dwellings. Its grain are little grains. Its dates are big dates. Its harvests are triple. Its wood is wood. At that moment, on that day, and under that sun, when Uttu stepped up into heaven from the standing vessels on Ezen's shore, from Nanna's radiant high temple, from the mouth of the waters running underground, fresh waters ran out of the ground for her. The waters rose up from it into her great basins. Her city drank water aplenty from them. Dilmun drank water aplenty from them. Her pools of salt water indeed became pools of fresh water. Her fields, glebe and furrows indeed produced grain for her. Her city indeed became an emporium on the quay for the land. Dilmun indeed became an emporium on the quay for the land. At that moment, on that day, and under that sun, so it indeed happened. All alone the wise one, toward Nintor, the country's mother, Enki, the wise one, toward Nintor, the country's mother, was digging his phallus into the dikes, plunging his phallus into the reed beds. The august one pulled his phallus aside and cried out, "No man take me in the marsh." Enki cried out, "By the life's breath of heaven I adjure you, lie down for me in the marsh. Lie down for me in the marsh. That would be joyous." Enki distributed his semen destined for Damgal Nuna. He poured semen into Ninhursag's womb, and she conceived the semen in the womb, the semen of Enki. But her 1 month was 1 day, but her 2 months were 2 days, but her 3 months were 3 days, but her 4 months were 4 days, but her 5 months were 5 days, but her 6 months were 6 days, but her 7 months were 7 days, but her 8 months were 8 days, but her 9 months were 9 days. In the month of womanhood, like fine oil, like fine oil, like oil of abundance, Nintor, mother of the country, like fine oil, gave birth to Ninhursag. In turn, Ninhursag went out to the riverbank. Enki was able to see up there from in the marsh. He was able to see up there. He was. He said to his minister Isimud, "Is this nice youngster not to be kissed? Is this nice Ninhursag not to be kissed?" His minister Isimud answered him, "Is this nice youngster not to be kissed? Is this nice Ninhursag not to be kissed? My master will sail, let me navigate. He will sail, let me navigate." First he put his feet in the boat, next he put them on dry land. He clasped her to the bosom, kissed her. Enki poured semen into the womb, and she conceived the semen in the womb, the semen of Enki. But her 1 month was 1 day, but her 2 months were 2 days, but her 9 months were 9 days. In the month of womanhood, like fine oil, like fine oil, like oil of abundance, Ninhursag, like fine oil, like fine oil, like oil of abundance, gave birth to Ninkora. In turn, Ninkora went out to the riverbank. Enki was able to see up there from in the marsh. He was able to see up there. He was. He said to his minister Isimud, "Is this nice youngster not to be kissed? Is this nice Ninkora not to be kissed?" His minister Isimud answered him, "Kiss this nice youngster. Kiss this nice Ninkora. My master will sail. Let me navigate. He will sail. Let me navigate." First he put his feet in the boat, next he put them on dry land. He clasped her to the bosom, kissed her. Enki poured semen into the womb, and she conceived the semen in the womb, the semen of Enki. But her 1 month was 1 day, but her 9 months were 9 days. In the month of womanhood, like fine oil, like fine oil, like oil of abundance. Ninkora, like fine oil, like fine oil, like oil of abundance, gave birth to Uttu, the exalted woman. Ninkora in turn gave birth to Ninima. She brought the child up and made her flourish. Ninima in turn went out to the riverbank. Enki was towing his boat along and was able to see up there. He laid eyes on Ninima on the riverbank and said to his minister Isimud, "Have I ever kissed one like this nice youngster? Have I ever made love to one like nice Ninima?" His minister Isimud answered him, "My master will sail, let me navigate. He will sail, let me navigate." First he put his feet in the boat, Next he put them on dry land. He clasped her to his bosom, lying in her crotch, made love to the youngster and kissed her. Enki poured semen into Ninhursag's womb, and she conceived the semen in the womb, the semen of Enki. To the woman its 1 month was but its 1 day, its 2 months were but its 2 days, its 3 months were but its 3 days, its 4 months were but its 4 days, its 5 months were but its 5 days, its 6 months were but its 6 days, its 7 months were but its 7 days, its 8 months were but its 8 days, and at its 9 days, in the month of womanhood, like fine oil, like oil of abundance, Ninhursag, like fine oil, like oil of abundance, gave birth to Uttu, the exalted woman. Ninhursag said to Uttu, "Let me advise you, and may you take heed of my advice. Let me speak words to you, and may you heed my words. From in the marsh 1 man is able to see up here, he is. From in the marsh Enki is able to see up here, he is. He will set eyes on you. Bring cucumbers in, bring apples with their stems sticking out, bring grapes in their clusters, and in the house you will indeed have hold of my halter, O Enki, you will indeed have hold of my halter." When he was filling with water a 2nd time, he filled the dikes with water, he filled the canals with water, he filled the fallows with water. The gardener in his joy rose from the dust and embraced him. "Who are you?" The garden. He brought him cucumbers in. He brought him apples with their stems sticking out, brought him grapes in their clusters, filled his lap. Enki made his face attractive and took a staff in his hand. Enki came to a halt at Uttu's, knocked at her house. Open up, open up." "Who are you?" "I am a gardener. Let me give you cucumbers, apples, and grapes for your consent." Joyfully Uttu opened the house. Enki gave Uttu, the exalted woman, cucumbers in, gave her apples with their stems sticking out, gave her grapes in their clusters. Uttu, the exalted woman, to the left for him, waved the hands for him. Enki aroused Uttu. He clasped her to the bosom, lying in her crotch, fondled her thighs, fondled her with his hand. He clasped her to the bosom, lying in her crotch, made love to the youngster and kissed her. Enki poured semen into Uttu's womb, and she conceived the semen in the womb, the semen of Enki. Uttu, the beautiful woman, cried out, "Woe, my thighs!" She cried out, "Woe, my body! Woe, my heart!" Ninhursag removed the semen from the thighs. She grew the tree plant, she grew the honey plant, she grew the vegetable plant, she grew the esparto grass, she grew the atutu plant, she grew the ashtaltal plant, she grew the plant, she grew the amharu plant. Enki was able to see up there from in the marsh, he was able to see up there, he was. He said to his minister Isummud, "I have not determined the destiny of these plants. What is this one, and what is that one?" His minister Isummud had the answer for him. "My master, the tree plant," he said to him, cut it off for him, and Enki ate it. "My master, the honey plant," he said to him, pulled it up for him, and Enki ate it. "My master, the vegetable plant," he said to him, cut it off for him, and Enki ate it. "My master, the alfalfa grass," he said to him, pulled it up for him, and Enki ate it. "My master, the atutu plant," he said to him, cut it off for him, and Enki ate it. "My master, the ashtaltal plant," he said to him, pulled it up for him, and Enki ate it. "My master, the plant," he said to him, cut it off for him, and Enki ate it. "My master, the amharu plant," he said to him, pulled it up for him, and Enki ate it. Enki determined the destiny of the plants, had them know it in their hearts. Ninhursag cursed the name Enki. "Until his dying day, I will never look upon him with life-giving eye." The Anuna sat down in the dust, but a fox was able to speak to Enlil. "If I bring Ninhursag to you, what will be my reward?" Enlil answered the fox, "If you bring Ninhursag to me, I shall erect 2 birch trees for you in my city, and you will be renowned." The fox first anointed his body, first shook out his fur, first put coal in his eyes. "I have been to Nibru, but Enlil. I have been to Urim, but Nana. I have been to Lasam, but Uttu. I have been to Unug, but Inanna." Ninhursag hastened to the temple. The Anuna slipped off her garment, determined its destiny, and Ninhursag made Enki sit by her vagina. My brother, what part of you hurts you? The top of my head hurts me. She gave birth to Abu out of it. My brother, what part of you hurts you? The locks of my hair hurt me. She gave birth to Ninsekila out of it. My brother, what part of you hurts you? My nose hurts me. She gave birth to Ningiritud out of it. My brother, what part of you hurts you? My mouth hurts me. She gave birth to Ninkasi out of it. My brother, what part of you hurts you? My throat hurts me. She gave birth to Nazi out of it. My brother, what part of you hurts you? My arm hurts me. She gave birth to Azimua out of it. My brother, what part of you hurts you? My ribs hurt me. She gave birth to Ninti out of it. My brother, what part of you hurts you? My sides hurt me. She gave birth to Ensang out of it. For the little ones to whom I have given birth may rewards not be lacking. Abu shall become king of the grasses. Ninsekila shall become lord of Magan. Ningiritud shall marry Ninazu. Ninkasi shall be what satisfies the heart. Nazi shall marry Nindara. Azimua shall marry Ningishsida. Ninti shall become the lady of the month, and Ensang shall become lord of Dilmun. Praise be to Father Enki. In summary, Enki likes sex, and apparently also eating plants. That's obviously a little bit of a joke. We're going to go into an actual assessment of this text tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed it. It's quite an interesting story. I do want to point out again, as so many of this literature is, it's very, very fragmentary, so there are breaks in there that I may or may not have indicated in the slides. Don't worry if it doesn't make a whole bunch of sense right now. Hopefully it'll make more sense after tomorrow. Next time, Enki's Lust Episode 2, also known as Reasons to Keep It in Your Pants. Until next time, resist poor scholarship. Always ask, how do you know that?